As an athlete, you need to listen to what your coach says. The coach and the coaching team are the ones to think of plays, rotations, and combinations that will ensure your team's securing the W. Sometimes in dire situations, you can't always rely on your coach to tell you what to do, especially if you can no longer call timeouts. Sometimes the players need to step up and make the calls when the coach can't. So today we're taking a look at some of the NBA's highest IQ moments and smartest plays. But before that, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. We're going to start things off at the top with Danuel House Jr. serving April Fools to the Golden State Warriors. As a strong team, the Warriors should not be easily fooled, but House gets away with it, fooling not just the GSW, but the entire arena as well. It was in the second quarter, and the Phoenix Suns were actually taking the lead, but that doesn't mean that Danuel Jr. can't have fun while he's at it. He had executed a perfect self-alley-oop using the backboard, finishing it off with a one-hand jam. This enabled them to the lead by more than 10 points, despite not having the home court advantage.
First half from Oracle Arena. Danuel House, little up and under on the lob.
Next, we all know what a beast Shaquille O'Neal is on the paint, but this behemoth has one tiny yet significant weakness. He cannot shoot behind the free throw line even if his life depended on it. Everybody knows this, and teams would actually go ahead and take advantage of this, fouling him on purpose in order to get him to the line. The move actually has a name, Hack-a-Shaq, and in Game 5 of the 2008 First Series, San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich expertly used the hack against O'Neal and the Phoenix Suns. It stunned not only Big Daddy, but even the audience, since it just happened 5 seconds into the game.
A Hack-a-Shaq call? I don't believe it. 5 seconds in.
Well, it was more of a psych tactic against Shaq, and it worked wonders for the Spurs. They successfully crushed the Suns at 92-87, with Shaquille only scoring 9 of his 20 free throws, which, if you think about it, would actually have contributed to their win. Jason Kidd is next. Kidd may be an old dog, but he still has some tricks up his sleeve. He proved this during his match against the Atlanta Hawks in 2010. With less than 2 minutes left in regulation and Atlanta leading 97-95, J. Kidd did an unspeakable thing. He forced a technical foul on Hawks coach Mike Woodson. How did he do it? Well, Kidd says the play just presented itself. He saw Coach Mike make a full step on the court while directing his players on how to defend, and he decided to barrel through with intent on making contact.
And initiated the contact with Mike Woodson. Obviously, a veteran play. Woodson didn't really.
Woodson claims he saw it coming, but his reflexes weren't as good as it used to be. The result? Dirk Nowitzki was able to make a free throw, which gave Dallas a key point that cut the Hawks' lead in half, a crucial point for the game that went into overtime. Even if the trick went well for the Mavericks, Kidd swears he will never do this again. And we're pretty sure Woodson won't be making the same mistake twice. The next one on our list is a spectacular play courtesy of Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook at Game 4 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and Houston Rockets in 2017. The Thunder were able to bring the lead down to a single point thanks to Adams intentionally missing a free throw to get the rebound, passing it to the MVP, and Westbrook nailing a long three.
Adams misses delivery, gets his own miss to Westbrook. Long three straight on by Russ. Cha-ching, another money ball! 28-foot!
It's such a shame that it was followed by Grant's foul on Nene, which resulted in another three-point play, this time by the Rockets, to escape with a 113-109 victory. Despite the heartbreaking defeat, this did little to dampen the spirits of both Adams and Westbrook, who stayed with OKC and attempted to do the same trick again in 2019, but that was quite a failure. Next is Marcelo Huertas. The then 32-year-old Brazilian point guard has produced more than his share of lowlights in 2016, but for once, the world was laughing with the Lakers guard, and not at him. With less than 11 minutes remaining in the final frame, Lou Williams stepped to the free throw line to give the Lakers a 2-point lead. Miami, clinging on for dear life, cleared the rebound following a miss, but Huertas did not let it go. He impressively hit it behind Heat coach Eric Spoelstra, who was standing near the three-point line from his bench. There he patiently waited as Goran Dragic made a beeline to the Miami Heat side. Poor Dragic never saw Huertas coming in hot as he made a mad dash toward the ball.
Just trying to sneak. He did it. And they did it.
This paid off quite well for the team as Marcelo was able to poke the ball away from Goran from behind before collecting the rock to steal one on the play. Although this one-of-a-kind play did not lead to a basket, Huertas' quick play helped inspire his team, winning against the Miami Heat at 43-31. In a play he made his own, Vince Carter is next on our list. The Mavs forward decided that it was time to go back to his initial instinct to fake an injury. After slipping momentarily, Carter started to hop on one foot while holding his other ankle in the corner of the court. Thinking that Carter was hurt, Warriors' Harrison Barnes thought it was best to leave him alone. But suddenly, Carter's ankle was magically healed just in time to take a baseline pass from Elton Brand to deliver a massive dunk to beat the buzzer before halftime.
4-on-5, Collison, Brand, Carter, what injury!
That's mixing the young and old with perfection. This proves that with age comes a sort of foolishly smart move in order to last longer in the league. Job well done, Uncle Vince. Next, Avery Bradley of the Boston Celtics proved that he can steal a ball while trying to tie your shoelaces. In a game in 2012 versus the Atlanta Hawks, Bradley showed that he is no longer a rookie by having a crazy amount of concentration to be able to pass while attending to your shoes.
Moments on the defensive end. How good is he? Well, he can tie his shoe and still come.
He does this perfectly and brings back the ball into their court, passes it for an easy dunk. Whether or not Bradley was just pretending to tie his shoelaces or it actually came undone, we will never know. Next, speaking of fakes, here's another one that's hard to miss: a fake timeout. NBA point guard veteran Andre Miller came close to breaking the league's code of ethics by faking a timeout midway through the third quarter of the game between Portland and New Orleans. With the Blazers down by 7 points, Miller dribbled to the sideline, which very much looks like asking for a timeout from the referee. Except that wasn't the case. Instead of asking for a break, Miller flew past the slowed-down Trevor Ariza for a relatively easy layup.
Andre Miller does it. He fakes the timeout and scores.
This is why coaches say to never give up until the whistle blows. This Miller trickery worked wonders for the team and eventually won the game at 103-96. And by the looks of it, Chris Paul actually learned this move during the time and used it as his own. While playing for the Clippers, Paul copied the trick for another easy score. Next, we move on with our list to Kings point guard Rajon Rondo, exhibiting how much of a basketball nerd he truly was in a game against the Atlanta Hawks. At 1.9 seconds left, the Hawks needed a 3 to tie the game and set up an alignment with 4 players in a diagonal line. In response to this, Rondo directed his teammates into a different defensive position, causing confusion on both sides. The Kings had anticipated their opponent's move and decided to pull out their biggest inbound players in the hopes of deflecting the pass. But the Hawks saw this coming and sent in their very own big man, Thabo Sefolosha. However, this substitution gave Rondo enough time to bark instructions based on a hunch on their opponent's next move. Instead of telling Cousins to mark a specific player, Rahone told him to stay in the sideline corner as far away from the action as possible, as he believes that someone from the Hawks will be making a headway for the 3. And as the Rondo predicted, he was right. This almost didn't work though. Luckily, their first strategy of placing in their big man saved them.
Get a layup. And the Kings are going to win the game. It's all over.
At the end of the day, the Kings were able to shut down the Hawks. This was an incredible moment. Now we have another big duo play, this time by the 76ers' Josh Richardson and Ben Simmons, just late last year. Out of the timeout, the 76ers got the ball to Joel Embiid in the paint, but was surrounded by a sea of baby blue Miami jerseys. Jimmy Butler was fouled after performing another defensive play. This put Miami up 108-106. On the ensuing possession, Richardson raced down the court, looking for a fast play, when Dragic gave him an opportunity for a tie that would send the game into overtime. Sadly, Richardson missed his first free throw, but that's when the magic happened. As he deliberately missed the second, Ben Simmons soared in to extend the match. It was first thought that Josh's shot did not hit the rim, but upon review, it showed that the ball lightly grazed the rim, which meant Simmons' shot was good.
Oh, he does it. Oh, he did it.
Has to hit the rim.
Unfortunately, their luck ran out as the Heat outlasted Philadelphia in OT to secure a 117-116 win. Next is one of the latest games between the LA Lakers and the Miami Heat. While thanks to the LA Lakers' almost unstoppable lineup, they have had fairly easy matches, the Heat gave them quite a scare when they nearly blew an 8-point lead in the last few minutes of the game. Los Angeles gave Miami tons of opportunities to score because of missed free throws and faltering defenses, but the Lakers proved their indomitable force with Anthony Davis hitting the biggest shot of the night, a three-pointer off LeBron James' incredible pass to give the Lakers a 110-105 edge.
LeBron is dangerous playing from the elbow. Out to AD from deep. Got it, butter!
Davis's inside-out game is nearly impossible to stop, and that seemed to be the case when the Brow dominated to the tune of 33 points. What a monster! Now we have Markelle Fultz making magic versus the Wizards. How, do you ask? Well, with Evan Fournier, nonetheless. Fournier had thrown down exactly 0. Zilch. Nada dunks this season. This all changed up with the help of quick-thinking point guard Fultz during their game against the Washington Wizards. He made a spectacular swipe to Fournier, who only needed to run up to the basket and slam.
Long rebound. Stolen by Fultz. Behind the back, out scrambling past the fourth.
with the duo combining for an all-around highlight in the third quarter. We're as bewildered as Terrence Ross with his triumphant reaction on the sidelines, as he was about to check in following Fournier's rise above the rim. We can't wait for the next play. Of course, this video will not be the smartest plays in the history of the NBA if Lakers legend Magic Johnson's famous play is not part of it. With the Lakers leading by 91-90 in less than 5 seconds to play, Magic rebounded Terry Porter's missed jumper from the right side. By holding the ball or trying to dribble, Johnson knew that he was at risk of getting fouled or losing the ball. So he decided to throw the ball to no one, heaving the ball over his head, sending it at the far end of the opposite court to the amusement of everyone in the forum. More importantly, with this pass, he wasted all but 1/10 of a second of the game clock.
Ball, a three-pointer by Bill. The Notre Dame shot is an air ball, taken by Magic. He throws to the other end.
Of course, with this much time left, the Lakers booked their ticket to Chicago. These kinds of situations are a staple in the Pro League, like the NBA. You can't really predict what's going to happen, and it's up to your instincts and your own reflexes to be able to wiggle out of tough times and win the game. You have to be able to find a way to make the most of it. So, with that, I hope you enjoyed this list of the highest IQ moments and smartest plays in the NBA. So, as you can see throughout this video, sports can be one of the most entertaining things to watch. Whether we like the actual sports that's on, or we're just looking for something to pass time, it's the best way to do so. Sports are available to all ages and genders, and thankfully now we have more access than ever to watch some of the best moments and highlights. Make sure to stay active and enjoy your favorite sporting moments. Thanks for watching.